The Score, the Tri-State's ultimate guide to high school sports.
Welcome to Week 2 of The Score's Football Forecast, a CPTV production. I'm Gordon Engelhardt. This is Steve Ford. This week's game of the week is Central and Mater Dei, Friday at the Bowl. SIAC opener for each team. Steve, I saw Mater Dei up at Lucas Oil. People are wondering, this could be the year Mater Dei goes to the Lucas Oil. I almost said the Dome. The Dome is dead. To Lucas Oil. And they had the skilled players, no doubt, to make it. There's a little concern. They had big offensive and defensive lines, but they were inexperienced, but led by Bernie Boots. They looked fantastic on Saturday.
Well, I got to listen to the game. Gordon got to see it, and Mater Dei was able to move the ball. Indian Creek is a good football school. You know, they were the one that eliminated a good Boise team from the playoffs last year. Mater Dei has experience at the skill positions with Dane Maurer, quarterback, Cody Hess running the ball and catching the ball. He had, what was it, 2 touchdown passes Saturday?
Right,
Gordon?
5 catches, 84 yards, caught 2 touchdown passes, ran for another.
Yeah, I mean, that shows you the kind of, versatility that these guys possess. Dane Maurer, not only can he throw the ball a mile, Dane's a very accomplished runner as well. Central went down to a hostile environment at Campbellsville, Kentucky, and beat Greene County, Kentucky, 22-20, and they did it with a balanced running attack where they had two backs and 2 first-year backs, David Garrett and Brian Hooper, who each rushed for over 100 yards, and then their standby senior quarterback, who was very productive last year, Jacob Hester, had another strong game, 9 of 14 for 147 yards, and I think 1 score. So Central can move the ball. Will they be able to stop Mater Dei? Will they be able to score with them? We'll see. But I expect this to be a very competitive game Friday, Gordon.
It looks like it. We'll see just how good Central is. They have, he was a little worried about the line play. They look good the first week. We'll see what happens. We move on to Washington at Boise, 7 o'clock Friday at Enloe. Both teams are coming off losses, had lots of problems defensively. I am guilty of getting caught up in the Jalen Pendleton hoopla. Jalen is a great player, but when you give up 50, you're not going to beat many teams, and then Washington gave up 30 in an overtime loss to Boonville.
Well, I mean, Washington also gave up big plays, and Boonville, one player had an 86-yard touchdown return and 3 receptions for Boonville against Washington, and if they think they're going to stop Jalen Pendleton, this is a big play Boise team. Pendleton's going to make plays. He's going to pile up yards. Do they translate to touchdowns and a win? We'll see.
Belleville West will play Memorial 7 o'clock Friday at Boise Field. The first time since the early 1970s there'll be a football game at Boise Field. UE played there. High school games were there in 1971. I believe UE played in 72. It's a throwback game. Memorial will be wearing a combination 1930s and 1970s uniforms. But of course, Steve, the more pressing problem is the health of Dane Hurley.
Dane Hurley did not play against Jasper, and frankly, Memorial at times struggled on offense. With replacement quarterback Charlie Greif, they did not throw the ball down the field. They didn't throw it more than 5 or 6 yards, and even at that, they still served up 3 interceptions. Yeah, at one time, now Sam Curtis at times looked good running the ball. Will they have enough offense? We don't know anything about Belleville. They're playing, at Boise Field. They're going to play on grass, which everybody around here now is playing on turf. So, it'd be novel. Will it be, a win? We'll see. I think, Hurley playing is a big key for the Tigers, Gordon.
And then North will play at Henderson County, 7 o'clock, or maybe 7:30 on Friday across the bridge. North looked great against Boise. I mean, Blake Howell returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns, but of course Henderson could be a much different story. They took rights to OT at the bowl, so we'll see just how much North has improved.
North in the past was an up-and-down team. Will they be an up-and-down team again this year? In the past they've come off big wins against Boise and then turned around and played Henderson County the next week and not played well. If North plays to its potential, this is going to be a tough matchup for Henderson County. But Henderson County obviously was ready to play in the first week, taking rights to overtime. Who knows this week? I expect this to be a one-score game either way. Who knows?
And like last week, we have 3 games on Saturday. Wrights will play Kentucky Traditional Power Paducah-Tillman, 1 o'clock on Saturday. Papa John in Louisville. Castle's coming off a 44-0 win up at Terre Haute North. They're on the road again. This time will be a neutral game, however, against New Albany. Lucas Oil at 4 o'clock on Saturday. New Albany lost to Providence 21-19 in their first game. Castle could meet them again in the sectional in Class 5A. Harrison beat West Vigo again, Steve, of course, last year. Then they lost their next 9. Let's see if they can build on that.
Well, Harrison, Jamie Malvern's another year older. He had a very big game against West Vigo. He'll need another one. Harrison fans, when you're driving to Mayfield, I've been there for a football game, you think you're about out of Kentucky, and that's when you get there. You know, it's a long haul to get down there. It's about as far as you can go in western Kentucky and still be in the state. But you'll find it. It's right off the road. You can't miss it. Castle, Mitch Gillis had a big game for the Knights. You know, he'll need another one, you know, on the road at New Albany. And then Wrights, who knows? Keandre Vaughn did not have a big game running the ball. I thought Wrights would be a very effective running team. Henderson County shut it down. But they also knew they weren't going to have Matt McIntosh at quarterback. So I think for Wrights to be effective this week, Gordon, they're going to have to get Keandre Vaughn some yards.
It'll be interesting. Wrights is playing Paducah. Harrison is playing Mayfield. So state bragging rights are on the line for SIAC teams on Saturday.